Welcome to this deep dive. Today, we're focusing squarely on you, the listener, and we're taking a single, just incredibly packed source.
Right, a really dense one.
Yeah, a TED Talk by John Mullins. And we're using it to extract the 6 counter-conventional mindsets of massively successful entrepreneurs.
I mean, the mission here is to figure out how true innovators build empires by just completely and unapologetically ignoring traditional business school rules.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But before we get into the mechanics of all that, I want you to picture the internet in 1995.
Oh, wow. The true Wild West.
Totally. Dial-up modems, pixelated graphics, and this graphic design teacher named Linda Weinman. And, she just desperately needs a digital sandbox.
Just a place for her students to play around with these intimidating new tools.
Right, like Photoshop and Illustrator, and she just needed a space to showcase their work.
And the thing is, there was absolutely no grand master plan to dominate global education here.
No, not at all.
She just set up a website, lynda.com, just to solve a friction point in her own classroom.
But she kept tinkering.
Mm-hmm.
And by 2002, she realized this little digital sandbox could be, well, so much more. So she moved all her teaching online.
Which was huge back then.
Fast forward a bit, and that little sandbox gets bought by LinkedIn, renamed LinkedIn Learning, and sold for $1.5 billion.
A billion.
Yeah, billion with a B. Okay, let's unpack this. Because if you want to really understand what's happening here, you have to picture traditional big business strategy as a massive cruise ship.
A cruise ship, right.
Yeah, it has immense momentum, but it is locked onto a strict navigational chart. It takes miles to turn, it requires massive infrastructure, and it basically cannot deviate from the planned route.
It's rigid.
Exactly. But these entrepreneurial mindsets we are exploring today, they are like a nimble speedboat.
Oh, I like that.
The speedboat doesn't care about the pre-planned navigational chart, right? It uses the immediate waves of opportunity to its advantage. You just pivot on a dime.
That speedboat imagery gets right to the core of this, actually, because it explains why these mindsets matter so much. I mean, they aren't just clever actions or tactics you try once.
Right.
A mindset is a predetermined mental inclination. It's how you automatically respond to opportunities when they arise.
When the waves hit.
Exactly. When we look at standard corporate best practices, the kind taught at places like London Business School, we're looking at instructions for the cruise ship.
Yeah, totally.
Those rules are entirely about sticking to the chart, but these counter-conventional approaches completely fly in the face of what corporate best practices preach.
So if you want to get off the cruise ship and jump into the speedboat, step 1 is abandoning that strict navigational chart. Specifically, the corporate rule of sticking to your knitting.
Sticking to your core competencies. Strategy 101.
Right. We're constantly told to figure out what we are good at and aggressively protect it. If a client asks for something outside that zone, corporate logic says you go, well, we don't do that here.
You stay in your lane.
Yeah, but the entrepreneur's first mindset is the exact opposite. It's simply, yes, we can.
Which sounds so simple, but it's radical. Because when an entrepreneur sees an opportunity just past the edge of their expertise, they don't retreat. They say yes.
Like Arnold Correa.
Yes, the Brazilian entrepreneur from the source material. So he was running this event management company in Brazil, Atmo Digital. He's doing standard corporate events.
Right, catering, stages, that sort of thing.
Exactly. And suddenly, a client with 260 stores across Brazil comes to him with a monumental request. They want to broadcast real-time training to all of these remote stores via satellite.
Which is, rationally, based on the cruise ship model, Correa has to say no.
Of course.
He knows absolutely nothing about engineering a nationwide satellite broadcast network.
Yeah.
It's entirely outside his core competency.
Completely.
But he looks at this logistical nightmare and just says, yes, we can.
And he actually pulls it off. He figures out the satellite uplinks, the hardware, everything.
But he didn't even stop there. A few years later, Walmart, who was one of his clients, looks at these satellite-linked TVs in their employee backrooms and asks, hey, could we put these screens on the actual sales floor?
And run detergent ads for Procter & Gamble?
Exactly, which is a massive pivot.
Right, because moving from internal corporate training to consumer-facing retail advertising that requires fundamentally different sales skills, different metrics.
It's a completely different industry.
But his response was identical. Yes, we can. The source points out he reinvented his business 4 separate times purely by ignoring his core competencies.
Just reacting to the waves and say, yes, like that changes how you look at what you're actually selling. Which brings us to the second mindset, adopting a problem first not product-first logic.
Oh, this is a big one. Big corporations obsess over their products.
Right, the source uses Tide laundry detergent as the classic example. You can always tell when a new brand manager takes over Tide because they take the blue speckles in the powder, change them to green speckles, and just slap a new and improved sticker on the box.
It's just iterating on the product.
Or Coca-Cola, endlessly spinning out new Coke, Diet Coke, Coke Zero, Vanilla Coke, Cherry Coke.
Right, it's just endless variations of the exact same product. But entrepreneurs don't care about the speckles. They focus on the severity of a problem.
Jonathan Thorne is the perfect example of this.
Right. Thorne was looking at a super standard medical tool, surgical